another video. Today I've got something kind of special. I ordered this from Amazon a few days ago. They do offer an Amazon Prime. It is another joystick, not a HOTAS, but a joystick with inside the realm of the mid to higher end flight sim stuff, which seems to be the going trend on my channel right now. I got this after sending back the Saytech / Mad Catz / Logitech X56 Rhino, which if you watched my previous video I wasn't too thrilled about. These guys are a company called VKB SIM, and they're actually a combination of small developers that got started back in the early 2000s from Belarus and Russia. And they actually started by making pedals, flight sim pedals, rudder pedals. Because back in that time period, flight sims were pretty popular, but the only thing really available with a USB connection was the CH Products Pro Throttle, or pardon me, Pro rudders. And they really wanted to manufacture something that was a little bit higher end, more metal. And at the end of this video, I'll maybe get into a little bit more of that. But what I wanted to talk about today is they actually have a line of flight sticks out. They're not really well known, like I said, they are from over in Europe, and they, up until recently, have not sold or distributed anything outside of Europe. And they've recently, Amazon has recently picked them up, and they are selling their flight sticks. This is a Gladiator. It's the VKB SIM Gladiator. And as you can see, I haven't even unboxed it yet. I wanted to kind of share the first impressions with the community at the same time I open it. There aren't a lot of reviews out there. I found a couple, some in other languages, but nothing really. And I've been curious about these guys since I saw their Black Mamba line, I think it was about a year ago. And I thought, what a cool idea. It's a replica. The stick itself is a replica of a World War II flight stick. And they make two models. They make this one, which is the Gladiator, and they also make a Gladiator Pro. Now, physically speaking, they look almost identical. The Gladiator is made of composite plastic, and the internals are a bit more on the plastic side. But from everything that I've read, this is a passion for these guys. It's not a big company, and they really pour everything into their products. And if you have ever looked at any of their rudders, which I will leave links in the description later on for their website, where I got this and everything I can about VKB. I'm kind of excited about this, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But this is the VKB Gladiator. They make this and the Gladiator Pro, which I was just kind of getting at. The Gladiator Pro is the metal version of this. So the stick itself, the base, everything is metal, and the internals, they use a metal cam system, which is quite unique. And I'll post some pictures of that maybe later on. But if you'd like to look at that stuff, I will, like I said, leave a link in the description so you guys can jump on their website and read about them a little bit more. This is the $99 model. You can get this on Amazon for about $100. You can also find it on eBay for a little bit more, but you know, why not? Amazon, $100, which really is a unique price point because I can't think of another stick at $100 that, at least we're gonna say, claims this kind of quality, and at the same time gives you a replica. The closest thing I can think of is the T16000M, the newer one, where the internals are supposedly a little bit more updated, and I have a review of that new HOTAS system as well on my channel if you'd like to check that out. This is a single stick. It comes with the same functionalities you would get out of a HOTAS in the sense that it does have a throttle built onto the stick itself. And you get quite a few buttons. So you can use it by itself. You don't necessarily need a throttle to work with this. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So let's get this unboxed. Comes in the box, which actually does have English. So you've got Russian and English on here, which is awesome. So they've got a US, they've catered it, I guess, to the US. So this would be the instruction manual and warranty. It says, "Dear customer, congratulations for purchasing your Gladiator or Gladiator Pro stick, blah, 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 blah." So that's kind of cool. They've done that in English. I like that. It's packaged pretty well. So nice detail in the cardboard box, if that matters to you. Doesn't really matter to me, but I guess it, it looks nice, looks professional. Packaged in cardboard. It does come assembled all one piece, you don't have to put anything together. And I will say right away that this has probably got a metal base because it is quite heavy, which is quite surprising, really. I didn't expect this to be heavy. I would assume that its big brother, the Gladiator Pro, would be all like have that heavy metal feel, but this has got quite a bit of weight to it, and that is really nice to see. It feels really cool already. So I have to get this thing unboxed or unbagged here. Sorry guys, this was one of those exciting, I got it in today, didn't think it was coming today, and I just threw my camera up on a tripod to put this together. So I apologize for the unprofessionalism, but there we go, let's get some light on this here. I apologize for the unprofessionalism, but I was just really excited to get this today. So it is USB. I would say the cord's probably about 6 feet, maybe 6.5 feet, which is, I'd say, pretty standard these days for this kind of stuff. It does have a very freezing cold metal plate. It's probably been sitting on my porch for a while. Metal plate. Got a little bit of glue here. Huh. There's actually some adhesive, some glue that was probably missed. I think I can probably get that off with some Goo Gone. I'm not too worried about it. But there's a little bit of glue from the factory there, so I wish they would have seen that because it's quite tacky. And now I've got it on my fingers. So I'm going to cut this video. I'm going to go wash my hands. I'm going to clean that off, and I will be right back to finish this video. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was some sort of adhesive that was right here behind the throttle lever. And it was just, I don't know what it was from. Honestly, it came off with a dot of Goo Gone, and no big deal. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. I don't want to make this a super long video, but I do want to give you guys enough detail where you're not searching out other videos, because quite honestly, there isn't much out there. So first things, first impressions, it's nice and heavy, like I mentioned. It's got a steel plate that is affixed to the base with 4 Phillips head screws. It does have rubber feet, and it does have mounting holes if you want to mount it to your desk or any sort of custom setup you've got, cockpit, whatnot. You can attach that without having to do any drilling, which is nice of them to pay attention to that kind of stuff. The plastics are nice quality, like I said before. Let's go over the buttons really quick. On the base itself, you've got your throttle, which does have a little bit of resistance to it compared to the T16000M. This one's quite nice. It's got a bit more resistance if you plan on using this without adding a throttle to it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 buttons, and they're all labeled, so A1 through 3, B1 through 3, and C1 through 3. I hope that's focusing, guys. You've got a button over here, another button here. This one feels a little bit different, but all in all the buttons have a very nice quality feel. There's a bit of resistance. They're not mushy at all. I've heard some complaints. In fact, I complained a little bit about the throttle buttons at the T16000M throttle that just came out. They felt kind of mushy, the orange buttons. These have nothing like that. These actually feel very, very high quality. There are buttons on the stick as well. You've got your pinky trigger here, your button up top, your trigger, which is also actually kind of unique. It flips up just like the real World War II version did. And the way that they have this one so that the trigger's not flopping every time you move the stick is it's actually magnetic. So you've got a magnet here, here, and then that's the actual button, and it flips down. And it takes a bit to actually push that off, which is nice. It's not going to flop around on you. It does have one hat on the trigger, or pardon me, on the stick. I do believe that's an 8-way hat, which is nice. Now, obviously, with newer controllers and things like that, you're going to get more hats. So keep that in mind. If you're using this for, say, a World War II simulator, it's spot on. It's perfect. It's a replica. If you're using this for space sims, you may need some other hats. I've seen a few people online pair this with a CH Pro throttle, which seems like a perfect match for it because the CH Pro throttle has several hats. I think it has 4 hats. It has an analog stick, and it has some other buttons. So, like I said, if you're gonna do anything other than World War II sims, you may want to either look elsewhere or have that throttle. But this, like I said, this is a replica. It's actually, designed. The guys that design these things go on about their website about how they're more into the flight sim stuff, the interplanetary flight sim stuff. So let's move on to the actual trigger itself. The stick itself. This is separate from anything else that I've experienced. The closest thing that I can actually compare this to, as far as the way the movement on this feels, is a real flight stick from a real aircraft. If you ever sat in a real aircraft and were able to move the flight stick around, it's got a very smooth resistance to it. It feels like it's connected to the rudders. It feels like it's connected to the plane itself. And that's very interesting. I don't really know how else to describe that. It feels like I'm moving the flaps and rudders, that does have twist rudder, by the way, on a plane. That's the best way to describe it. It's very smooth back to center. In fact, I'm going to try to demonstrate this the best I can. So, watch this. You see how it slowly moves back to center and then just hits? There's no wobble. There's no back and forth. It's got a tiny bit of slop, which again is very similar to a real aircraft. There's that tiny bit of dead zone slop in the middle. And that is actually a design choice. I read about that on their website, and a few people that had purchased this and done reviews from other countries were saying, hey, is this supposed to feel like this? And VKB is like, yes, this is a design choice by them because they wanted it to be as realistic as possible. And I tell you what, my grandfather flew in World War II. And when he was a bit older, he used to take me to air shows, and we would go in planes, and this feels like a real flight stick. For $100, I can't think of anything even close to it. Now, you could get into maybe a Warthog, a Thrustmaster Warthog, but you're talking $400. If you want to buy the stick alone, $250. At the lowest end, $250. And that's the closest you're going to get to the real feel. So I don't know what you guys did at VKB, but this makes me want to buy your rudder pedals, because if they feel as realistic as this does, I'm all in. And I know that you guys don't have a throttle, so I'm sorry guys, I'm not talking to you specifically, but VKB, if you watch this, make a throttle that's like this. Make a quality throttle like this, and I will make a video the moment I get it. If you want to send me a sample, I would love to show that to the community in the US. I know it would sell if it's anything close to this. So, guys, I don't know what else to explain about this. I'm going to put links in the description to the website, to VKB's website. And I highly encourage anyone that's into flight sims and that wants a realistic replica that simply cannot spend a lot of money, jump on Amazon and pick one of these up and just try it. And I guarantee you the first thing you're going to do is go, that's different. That feels really cool. I don't know how else to describe it. I know I'm kind of rambling here, but that is so crazy. So, thank you, VKB, for making such a cool product. I'm very, very curious, and I will be playing with this all tonight. I'm going to try it on War Thunder and see how my accuracy picks up. I'm even going to try to Star Citizen a little bit and just see. Because the movement itself for Space Sims, because it's so smooth, and it's not super heavy, I mean, it's definitely got some resistance, but because it is so smooth and there's a little plane in the center, even though it doesn't have all of the buttons that you would want for Star Citizen, this might actually be really, really enjoyable for that. So, with that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, links will be in the description. I super appreciate anybody who's watched. In the last few weeks since I got my Thrustmaster T16000M, I went from like 12 to 40 subscribers. And I said it before, I'll say it again, I do not do this for subscribers. If you subscribe, thank you so much. It makes me feel good, but I don't do it for that. I just really like trying this niche market of products and showing you guys something that maybe, giving you some information you maybe don't have. So Anyway, thanks again. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.